you will always struggle to succeed until you understand this one simple concept that once I understood, it actually made winning seem effortless. Picture this, imagine you're in a competition and you have 5 rounds and you win the first one, then the second, and the third. And right now your 4th round is coming up, but you're not nervous, you're not scared, you're actually somewhat excited and have a little bit of confidence going into the new round. And why? That's because you've won these 3 past rounds and you almost have this evidence in your brain that's telling you, oh, if you won those 3 rounds, what is stopping you from winning this next one? It almost increases your chance of success, even though you're not really changing anything physically about you, just all mental. And this feeling or this event is called the winner effect, and it literally rewires your brain to expect success, and it makes success or succeeding 10 times easier. For example, I remember this one day I literally woke up out of my bed and I didn't really want to get up and record. But I did it anyway, and I used this tiny trick that it's like a bonus tactic that you can use, which is just telling myself that I was only going to script for 5 minutes, and that kind of got me out of bed because 5 minutes seems so much easier than scripting for 2 hours and then recording. So I got out of bed, I took a cold shower, and I felt kind of good because I knew I got out of bed and I took a cold shower, which was already 2 massive wins compared to me just laying in my bed and wasting my time. After that, I sat down and I started to script my videos. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, 30 minutes go by, 1 hour goes by, 2 hours go by. And then I decided to start recording, and I record one video, and then I go downstairs and I eat some breakfast, and it was such a nutritious breakfast. I know this is gonna be like a little thing that I want to share with you, is that for some reason every time that I eat like a good food, like for example just meat or just eggs, like it's like a tiny win for me. But anyway, the point is that after that I went to the gym, and since I already had this evidence that I was disciplined, that I could wake up early and do the hard work even though I didn't want to, it made pushing to failure so much easier, and I had an amazing workout. I go back home and then I started reading, and then it's just, the day flowed perfectly. And you can probably remember a time where something like that happened to you, where you just woke up and your day was just going so well. But maybe you can remember a time when this was kind of the opposite, where your day was going kind of like backwards. It wasn't really going up, it was kind of going down, where you woke up maybe a little bit late, then you ate a bad breakfast, and then after that you went to school and it wasn't really that good, and after that you didn't really feel like going to the gym, and it was just like a spiral. It was just like this snowball that kept going down and down and down, and it just kept building up, compounding these losses that just kept bringing up more losses. And that's actually a good way to think about it, that the winner effect is almost like this snowball that picks up, like the more you push it, the more momentum it picks up. And for example, let's say you push it down this massive hill, at first it's going to be smooth, like for example you just waking up, taking a cold shower, brushing your teeth, literally just doing the basics. But after that, it's gonna get bigger. You do your work, then you go to the gym, and this snowball becomes more powerful because it's obviously bigger. But what that translates to into real life is just basically the more power it has, the more likely you are to do something hard. Or just basically, like for example, if you already did some work in the morning and you woke up early and took a cold shower, then you're way more likely to push to failure at the gym, instead of, let's say you just woke up and then you had a lot of losses in the morning and you're at the gym and you don't really feel like pushing to failure because you feel like you're almost in as a loser streak. But the thing about this snowball is that it's a double-edged sword. For example, you can build up a lot of momentum, a lot of sides of the snowball with a winner effect, but you can also have the winner effect working against you, almost like a loser effect, where if you stack up a lot of losses, it can create more losses. Just like the winner effect can create more wins, the lose can create more losses, if that makes sense. So having this loser effect is probably one of the worst that you can have, because if you have loser effect, you just attract more losses, and because you attract more losses, you get more of the loser effect, and therefore you attract more losses. It's just a whole spiral. But in a minute, I'm going to teach you how to stay in this winner effect as basically all day long and basically for all your life, because this new mindset has changed my entire mentality to life, and it's made attracting success pretty much easy, and it's an amazing mindset to have that I will teach you in a minute. But think of it this way, it's almost like the compound effect. You probably heard of the compound effect. So let's say you came back from school and then you did some stuff, you ate some food, you maybe read for a bit, you maybe did a little bit of work, then you went to the gym, and after you went to the gym, you have 1 hour before you really have to just, I don't know, go to bed. Let's just say you have 1 hour. Let's say for this 1 hour, you decide to read and learn and educate yourself on like business, health, psychology, all these kinds of concepts that will benefit you for all your life. But now let's imagine another guy, and this guy is doing the same thing as you. He's coming back from school, he goes to the gym, he's doing great so far, but for that 1 hour he instead just wastes his time watching entertainment videos, just kind of watching Mr. Beast. You know what entertainment videos is. So in the first few days, it's not going to really seem that much of a difference. You guys are pretty much going to be the same. You guys are both going to the gym, you guys are both, well, improving in some sort of way, but you're learning, and every single day you learn a new thing. For example, you learn from how to influence and influence people to be interesting, you need to be interested, And from Atomic Habits, you learn, oh, to make a habit stick, you need to make it satisfying. Oh, so how could I make my, I don't know, whatever more satisfying? How could I make the gym more satisfying? After a week, after a month, you're gonna start to see some results. You're gonna see that you're pretty much more knowledgeable than him. And after a whole year, after 365 hours, you guys are gonna be completely different. You're gonna have so much knowledge that you've been gathering through 365 hours. Not to mention the fact that if you read, you're more likely to read more. But anyway, let's say 365 hours that he wasted where you were reading, you're obviously going to be more successful, or way more likely to be successful, and you're also going to be way more knowledgeable, way more intelligent compared to this guy who just watched YouTube videos. And that's kind of like a mini analogy. You can think of like the winner effect going up, so you reading for 1 hour, and the loser effect kind of going down. Like, for example, a small loss won't really affect you that much, but another loss and another loss and another loss and another loss will make you worse and worse and worse and worse. For example, a win will make you better, and like a little bit, and then another win will make you better, and then it just compounds into more wins. So imagine the same scenario that I told you a few minutes ago, which was, imagine you're in this competition, but instead of you winning the first 3 rounds, you have lost the first 3 rounds. But now, just by the nature of the winner effect, you're gonna feel a little bit down. You're gonna feel a little bit less confident because you've already lost the first 3. It almost gives this evidence to your own brain, and this is how you counteract or almost eliminate this negativity in your own mind, and that is by reminding yourself of past failures. For example, let's say for me, I'll give myself as an example because it'll be a little bit easier to explain. Let's say I'm in a judo competition. Judo is this martial art where you basically have to throw people onto the ground. Let's say I've lost the first 3 rounds and I have 2 more rounds coming up. And if I've lost this first 3 rounds, I'm not just going to obsess over the failure, think that I'm a loser. That's just not going to benefit me in any way, shape or form. And if you were in this competition, it's not going to benefit you in any way, shape or form. So instead, I'll just be obsessing over past successes that I've had. For example, I'm going to remember the time where I was in class, my techniques were going perfectly. And I'm going to remember the time where I was in this other competition. Even though I didn't really want to go, I went to and I won. For example, I'm going to remember these past successes that relate to what I'm doing right now. And obviously, you don't just want to kind of say them in your mind. You didn't just want to say, oh, I won that one time. You almost have to bring emotion into it. You almost have to see it in your mind. You have to almost see it vividly in your own mind. Kind of like a visualization. See it in your own mind and play it out and remember these moments. And with it, you're almost going to get a little bit of excitement. You're going to remember these past successes that are way more likely to bring more success than if you didn't, if you just obsess over failure. Because if you obsess over failure, it's almost like a magnet. The more failure you obsess over, the more failure you attract. And what I'm about to tell you is a mini realization that I've had that sounds a little bit obvious, but it's always nice to kind of point it out. And that is that whenever we always obsess over the present moment when it comes to like successes and failures. The worst thing is that when we actually need to focus on there's another slight tangent, but whenever we need to focus on the present moment, which is like focusing and doing our work, we think about past other stuff. But when we're thinking about winning and losing, we usually obsess over the now. For example, let's say you're at the gym and you just had a bad workout. For example, just recently, I think it was like the day before yesterday, I had like a bad workout. I think I injured my shoulder a little bit, so whenever I was trying to do any exercise, it like hurt a little bit. I really couldn't do any exercise to failure because it just hurt too much, and it was just kind of like a horrible workout. And I left that day, and I remember this mindset of the winner effect, and I thought to myself, why would I let this workout affect me as a bad way when I've had hundreds of other workouts that have gone well for me? There's like a new realization that you can always keep this winner effect going on for you, because even though you might have had a bad day today, that doesn't mean you're just losing. That means you just had a bad day. It's kind of like the stock market. Think about the stock market. Over the course of 10 years, the stock market has gone up. But if you zoom in to an individual day, you'll see that it fluctuates. It goes up and down, almost like a zigzag. But then when you zoom out into a week, you can see that it's gone a little bit up. And then if you zoom out into a month, you can see that it's gone quite a bit up. And if you zoom out for a year, you can see it's gone quite a bit up. And then obviously 10 years is like a massive change. And it's almost like your life. If you just know that you keep improving, that you keep learning, that you keep basically applying and just facing the pain, even though you don't want to, you face the pain of going to the gym, of doing the work, of being bored, of not seeing any success, but still going on. You're going to be just like the stock market. You're just going to keep going up and up and up and up. And just like the stock market, over the course of 10 years, you're going to be so much different compared to if you just didn't do the good habits. So after hearing all of this, I've been wondering to myself, how do I actually keep this winner effect going 24/7? Because obviously success attracts more success. So why wouldn't I want this success haze all the time? Why wouldn't I want the winner effect? This is how you actually keep the winner effect 24/7. And that is whenever you're feeling a little bit down, whenever you feel like things are not going your way, like I said, think of past successes that you've had. For example, when you had an amazing workout, the time when you had an amazing workout, the time when you just did the work even though you didn't feel like it, you woke up early. Just remind yourself of all these successes, and it will be way more likely for you to become become successful if you remind yourself of all these success, because you're gonna have that winner effect, and you're gonna feel like, oh, I've gotten all these past wins. Why wouldn't I be able to get this tiny win now? For example, just doing the work when you've done the work, even though you didn't feel like it. You woke up early and you did the work. Think of it like you almost have a buff, like a 20% buff for your entire life. For example, if you keep reminding yourself of past wins, you're gonna have a 20% buff for the rest of your life. And what I mean by that is like a 20% winner buff, and 20% more likely to succeed buff. Almost like Minecraft. Let's say you got like a regeneration potion splashed on you. You got like regeneration, for example, 1 for 20 minutes. But imagine you have this infinite potion effect on you, and basically is 20% more likely for you to attract wins. And that's kind of when you remind yourself and come and refresh yourself over these past wins. That's kind of what it brings. That's kind of what it gives you, that winner effect that is basically this 20% buff. And the thing is that it doesn't really matter the size of the win sometimes. For example, let's say today you woke up at 6 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. That's still a win. So no matter how small the win is, remind yourself of the wins that you've had today, for example. Now obviously you can remind yourself of past wins that also benefit you. But the thing is that you can't just tell yourself, oh, for example, I had this win. You can't just say, oh, I remember the time where I woke up and I did the work. You can't just tell yourself like, just kind of like it's something. For example, let's say you're gonna understand it when I tell this to you. But let's say one of your friend comes up and he tells you just so blatantly, so bluntly, so dully, that he just comes up to you and says, oh, today I woke up early. Like, you're not really gonna care. You're not gonna kind of feel happy for him. You're just gonna be like, okay. But if he comes up to you and he has like some energy, some zest, and he literally comes up to you and says, bro, today I literally woke up early, and I'm telling you, today I didn't want to wake up early. I was like hitting this news button, but then I realized, oh wait, no, I need to get up because it means my goals are gonna be delayed and whatever. Let's say he just comes up with so much energy. Now you're gonna feel a little bit good for him. You're gonna be happy for him because you almost believe him more. You almost believe that it's actually a win, and it's the same in your brain. If you just kind of tell yourself with just a little bit like dullness that, oh yeah, I had that win that one day, your brain's not gonna care. Just like you don't care about your friend if he just comes up so dully. But if you almost hype yourself a little bit up in your brain and you almost visualize it and see it in your mind, then your brain's gonna believe it, just like you whenever your friend comes up with a little bit of energy, with a little bit of zest. So we can both agree that you can have all this knowledge of the winner effect, the loser effect, the Minecraft potion buff effect, whatever. You get the point. You can have all this knowledge, but if you don't apply it into your own life, then this video would have been basically just useless for you. So I want you to practice it right now. I want you to have this winner effect right now. Think of a past success that you've had today, or maybe in the past week. Let's say you woke up early today, or today you just read one page of a book. Let's say you picked it up, you read one page, and then you put it back. That's still a win. Or even right now, if you had no wins, like that's pretty. If you have no wins, then you should feel pretty bad about yourself, and that's a good thing, because if you feel bad, then you're gonna be way more likely to actually take action. So if you feel bad and you know you haven't got any wins, then you just pick up any book, for example, How to Influence and Influence People, and just read one page of it. That's gonna be progress, and that's gonna allow you to say, oh, today I read one page, and that's gonna allow you to actually stack up these wins. And after that, you can go to the gym thinking that, oh, I read that one page even though I didn't feel like it. Just stack these wins and think right now. Think of a way. Oh, think of past wins that you've had today. Let's say you woke up early, you read one page, you did some work, whatever it is. Just think of it, remind yourself of it, and then you're gonna be way more likely to attract more success at the gym or at more work that you're gonna do later. If you actually thought of a past win that you've had, then well done. And if you thought of more, then that's amazing. You're gonna be way more likely to actually take action. You're gonna be way more likely to actually benefit from this video, and you're actually an action taker, meaning you're way more likely to achieve success than most people in this world. And I'm grateful that you spend your time with me productively instead of just wasting your time doing random stuff, watching YouTube videos, just wasting your time. So very well done on you for that, and bye.